Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're diving deep into a world where reality and the supernatural kind of get a little blurry.
Yeah.
The Warren Occult Museum.
I love it.
We've got some awesome sources lined up to guide us on this journey.
Okay.
You've got articles from All That's Interesting and Drivin' and Vibin'.
Cool.
A really detailed list from Fright Find.
Wow.
And even some insights from the museum's own Facebook page.
Nice.
Plus, we'll be sprinkling in some really intriguing little bits and pieces that we found from just various online discussions and reviews.
I love it.
Get ready for a fascinating trip.
Yeah.
And maybe just a little spooky.
A little spooky. It's not every day
Yeah.
that we get to explore a collection of objects that are
Right.
supposedly bridging the gap between our world and the world of spirits.
Exactly. And before we even get to the museum itself,
Yes.
we've got to talk about the masterminds behind it.
I'm ready.
Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Of course.
This couple was like the dynamic duo.
Of paranormal investigation.
Absolutely.
Active from the 1950s onward.
Wow.
They investigated over 10,000 cases.
Amazing.
Founded the New England Society for Psychic Research.
Impressive.
And their work inspired countless books and films like,
Oh, yeah.
the Conjuring series.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Huge.
What I think is so interesting about them is that Lorraine claimed to be clairvoyant.
Oh, wow.
Meaning she believed she could perceive things beyond what we normally can with our senses.
Interesting.
And this ability, along with their really devout Catholicism, played a big role in how they approached their investigations.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like they were balancing between two worlds.
Yeah.
The spiritual and the scientific.
Exactly.
It's like, what? That just makes it all the more intriguing to me.
Now picture their house in Connecticut.
Okay.
Seems pretty normal, right?
Suburban.
Yeah, Connecticut. Yeah.
Tucked away in their basement
Right.
was the Warren Occult Museum.
Oh my God.
And this wasn't your typical museum full of ancient artifacts and historical relics.
Okay.
This place housed objects that the Warrens believed to be cursed or possessed by evil spirits.
Wow.
And they collected them throughout all their investigations.
So they were like curators of darkness.
Totally.
Goddamn.
Gathering these objects to contain them.
Right.
Study their power.
Fascinating.
What are some of the things that stood out to you from their collection?
Well, I mean, how could you not start with
I know, right.
the satanic idol
Yeah.
that was supposedly discovered near Sandy Hook?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just,
Creepy.
yeah, that's a little unnerving.
It's a lot unnerving.
That's scary.
Then there's a human skull
Yeah.
said to be used in black magic rituals.
Oh my goodness.
And even a shadow doll
Ooh, a shadow doll.
adorned with real human teeth.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I know.
Like, where do you even get that?
Each object with its
yeah.
own, unsettling backstory.
Of course.
Just fueling the museum's creepy reputation.
They really tap into our primal fears, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the thought of evil just lurking in everyday objects, like
Yeah.
the potential for the ordinary to become sinister.
Exactly.
It's terrifying.
And then, of course,
Cool.
the museum's most famous resident,
Okay.
Annabelle,
Yes.
the doll.
Oh, the doll.
Unlike her Hollywood counterpart,
Right. Yeah.
the real Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll.
Oh, okay.
But the Warrens claimed she was responsible for a whole bunch of malevolent events back in the 1970s,
Oh, wow.
which led them to keep her locked in a case with a warning not to open it.
Oh my God.
Very specific instructions.
I mean, it's amazing how a simple doll
Right.
can become this symbol of
Right.
fear and fascination.
I know.
What do you think it is about Annabelle that captures our imagination so much?
I think it's the contrast.
Okay.
Between the innocence of the doll and then
Right.
the potentially sinister.
Yeah.
We see a child's toy,
Uh-huh.
something that should evoke
Comfort.
and nostalgia,
Yeah.
but it's associated with darkness and danger.
Right.
So it really plays on our expectation.
For sure.
And makes us question good and evil.
I love that.
It
really makes you think about like the power of belief
Uh-huh.
and how that shapes our experience.
And speaking of belief,
Yeah.
the Warrens were deeply involved in another really famous case,
Okay.
the Devil Made Me Do It case,
Oh,
which
man.
inspired The Conjuring 3.
I love that movie.
And one of the museum's exhibits,
Okay.
a supposedly possessed toy dinosaur.
What?
plays a central role in this whole story.
A toy dinosaur.
A toy dinosaur.
Oh, wow.
The Warrens claimed that this thing levitated,
Oh, wow.
threatened a family,
Oh, my God.
and ultimately even contributed to a murder.
This case is really interesting because it blends these seemingly mundane objects
Right,
with alleged demonic influence.
right.
And I think it really highlights the Warrens' worldview.
Yeah.
It's like they saw the supernatural hiding just beneath the surface of everyday life,
Uh-huh.
waiting to
Yeah.
erupt.
Totally.
Kind of scary, actually.
It is.
When you think about it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, is my toaster going to come to life and attack me?
Exactly.
You never know.
The things you don't expect.
It's true.
It's like I'm looking at my coffee mug right now a little suspiciously.
I know, me too.
Like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do to me?
Are you possessed?
Yeah, are you possessed?
Oh, it's creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, how the Warrens seem to just find evidence of the supernatural in these everyday objects.
Right.
But their work, as
Yeah.
compelling as it is, wasn't without its critics.
Yeah. They actually attracted a lot of criticism and controversy over the years.
No.
Some people even accused them of fabrication,
Oh, wow.
exaggeration,
Really?
even potentially more serious allegations.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
One of the cases that I think drew a lot of scrutiny was their involvement in the Amityville horror.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
The Warrens claimed that the house was haunted by these demonic forces,
Yeah.
but then a lot of investigators and researchers disputed their findings,
Yeah.
suggesting some more earthly explanations for the strange occurrences.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And, even one of their collaborators,
Uh-huh.
author Ray Garton,
Okay.
who worked with Ed Warren on a book about the Snedeker family haunting.
Okay.
He actually later claimed that Ed encouraged him to embellish details
Oh, really?
to make the story more compelling.
Wow. And remember, The Devil Made Me Do It, case we were talking about.
Right.
Well, Carl Glatzel,
Okay.
the brother of the young man who was supposedly possessed,
Right.
he sued the Warrens,
Yeah.
claiming that they exploited his family and just fabricated the story
Oh my God.
for fame and profit.
It's wild because all of these controversies
Yeah.
really bring up some important questions
Yeah.
about belief,
Uh-huh.
evidence,
Yeah.
and the responsibility of paranormal investigators.
It's a tricky balance, right?
It is.
On the one hand, we have this genuine fascination with the unknown,
Of course.
the possibility that there are forces at work that we don't even understand.
Right.
But then on the other hand,
Yeah.
we have to be critical
Uh-huh.
of the information that we encounter,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to paranormal investigation,
Right.
where the evidence can be subjective and open to interpretation.
It's like walking a tightrope
Yeah.
between open-mindedness and skepticism.
Totally.
How do you stay open to the possibility of the extraordinary
Right.
without falling into the trap of misinformation
Yeah.
or sensationalism?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is a huge question.
Yeah, it's a question that's been around forever. I mean, our fascination with the paranormal,
Yeah,
it seems like it's universal.
it really does.
I mean, across cultures throughout history,
Uh-huh.
we find stories of ghosts and demons and objects with supernatural power.
Why do you think we are
Yeah.
so captivated by these stories?
I think it really taps into something primal,
Okay.
a deep-seated fear of the unknown,
Uh-huh.
a desire to understand these forces that are shaping our lives.
Yeah.
And these stories kind of give us a way to grapple with those fears.
Right.
You know,
I like that.
to explore what we believe is possible.
I think that's a great point.
And the Warrens, despite the controversy surrounding them,
Yeah.
they were masters at tapping into that fascination.
They really were.
They presented these really complex concepts
Yeah.
in a way that was both captivating and accessible.
Right.
And they drew millions into their world of haunted houses,
That's
demonic
right.
possession,
Yeah.
and cursed objects.
Like they were pioneers of
Yeah.
paranormal pop culture.
Yeah, totally.
They helped to shape the way that we view and engage with the supernatural and pave the way for like all the books and movies and TV shows that we see today.
Think about the impact of like the Conjuring universe.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Huge.
It's a testament to the narratives they created.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though the museum itself actually closed in 2018
Oh, really?
due to zoning issues.
Just any issues.
Zoning issues.
Wow.
And then it shut down permanently after Lorraine's death in 2019.
Okay.
So sad.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is a little sad.
It adds a sense of finality to their story though, doesn't it?
It does.
But it also makes you wonder
Yeah.
what's going to happen to their collection
Yeah.
Are these objects truly cursed?
Yeah, what's going to happen to them now?
Right.
And how will the Warrens' legacy continue to shape our understanding of the paranormal?
Big questions.
Yeah.
We also have reports that when the museum was open, people complained about, like, the cost and limited access.
Interesting.
Which made people wonder about their motives even more.
Yeah.
Like, did they actually believe in the power of these objects?
Right.
Or were they just taking advantage of public fascination with the occult?
It's hard to know.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the debate surrounding the Warrens and their work is going to continue long after their passing.
Probably.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
They left a mark
And
on our cultural landscape.
definitely left us with more questions than answers.
That's true.
But isn't that part of the allure?
I think so.
You know, the mystery, the uncertainty, the challenge to our understanding of the world.
Exactly.
It really makes you think about the objects themselves,
Yeah.
you know, beyond all the controversies.
Uh-huh.
What is it about a supposedly cursed doll
Yeah.
or a satanic idol
Right.
that just draws us in?
I think it's the stories that we attach to them.
Yeah.
These objects become like vessels for our anxieties,
Okay.
our fears, our fascination with the unknown.
It's like they become a focal point
Yeah.
for our collective imagination.
Exactly.
You know, we project our fears and beliefs onto them and give them power and meaning.
And that power, whether real or imagined,
Right.
can have a huge impact on how we experience the world.
Interesting.
Like if you believe an object is cursed,
Uh-huh.
you might start to see even just coincidences
Yeah.
as evidence of its influence.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like we're almost willing to see
Right.
what we expect to see,
Right.
even if it means blurring the lines between reality and our own internal stories.
It's a good point.
So where does that leave us?
Yeah.
Do we just dismiss all the Warrens' work
Right.
as complete fabrication? Or is there something to learn from their approach, even if we don't agree with all their conclusions?
I think it's valuable to look at their methods, their motivations,
Yeah.
the cultural impact they had.
Uh-huh.
The Warrens, whether they meant to or not,
Right.
tapped into something very real.
Yeah.
Our fascination with the unexplained.
Yeah.
Our desire to make sense of the world,
Right.
even if that means going into the supernatural.
They definitely gave us a lot to think about.
They did.
The Warren Occult Museum might be closed,
Okay.
but its legacy lives on,
For sure.
you know, in the stories, the films,
Yeah.
the discussions that's inspired.
And maybe that's the biggest takeaway here.
Yeah.
The museum was really just a collection of objects,
Uh-huh.
but it's the stories,
Right.
the beliefs,
Yeah.
the questions that they raise
Right.
that stick with us.
Yeah, I agree.
They make us face our fears,
Right.
question our assumptions,
Yeah.
and explore the mysteries that we don't understand.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the Warren Occult Museum, we're left with a sense of wonder,
Yeah,
a little bit of unease, and a whole lot to think about.
for sure.
Were the objects truly cursed?
Right.
Were the Warrens visionaries or charlatans?
Who knows?
We'll let you decide.
Yeah, those are questions for you to ponder.
But one thing is for sure,
Okay.
the paranormal,
Yeah.
with all of its mysteries and complexities,
Uh-huh.
it continues to captivate us.
It really does.
So keep exploring, keep questioning,
Yeah.
and keep an open mind.
Right.
That's what makes the deep dive so rewarding.
Exactly.